Yo, what is going on YouTube? So in today's video, I'm going over 5 tips to help you improve as a producer and to help you cut down some of the learning curve and overall make it easier for you to reach your goals quicker. Alright, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so tip number 1, simplicity. This one is honestly a game changer. I wish I had studied this when I started producing. I mean, the amount of Billboard #1 songs that are extremely simple is honestly astounding. Here's a clip of Murder Beats, the genius behind countless hit records. In this clip, he explains the importance of simplicity while showing how we made the beat to Travis Scott's Butterfly Effect.
This beat is very simple. It's literally like a melody, drums, and I just loop that. Being simple is not simple. Like simplicity isn't easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like if you do something tastefully and you do it simple, that's like a talent, bro. Like I don't like too polished and too overproduced and all that. I like just simple. Like us as producers, we're the canvas. You make the canvas and then they paint the picture. You know what I'm saying?
This is the key takeaway from the clip. Simplicity is not easy. It's an art. To make something sound full, complicated and interesting while also keeping it simple is extremely hard, and that's why you need to practice it. But I promise you, once you get this down, it's game over. Here's other major songs that are extremely simple.
Solid, I'm keeping my word. Can't be my equal, don't know what you heard.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with them.
Percocet, Miley Percocet, Percocet, Miley Percocet.
And the list just keeps going on and on and on. I've noticed that the key is to have a couple of extremely interesting and catchy elements that work well together. That creates a simple but not too simple foundation for the artist to go absolutely crazy on top of. But now you might ask, how do I practice this? Well, the answer is ironically simple. First, you want to try to limit the amount of sounds you use in your beats. Pick just a few high quality sounds and don't tweak them too much. You want to use less layers without overcomplicating things too much. Try to find a pocket for every sound so that you have no empty space on the beat. You also want to stick to basic structures, chord progressions, strong rhythms, and learn how to use the space effectively. And by the way, you can do this by learning call and response. But most importantly, don't overcomplicate things. Here's a couple of my favorite chord progressions to give you a starting point for your next beat. Tip number 2, sound selection. This, in my opinion, is not if only the most important, but definitely one of the most important aspects to get right. You can have a perfect melody, but if your sound selection is ass, it won't work. Let me show you. Alright, so right here we have this piano melody that I created, and I'm going to use one of the pianos out of Keyscape to show you what it sounds like with good sound selection. Now, let's try it with a different, bad sounding instrument. As you can see, sound selection is essential. Here's the exact way on how you can practice it. First, I would definitely recommend that you would listen to a lot of songs in the style that you want to create. This will give you an idea of what works and what doesn't. You can also watch tutorials to get the exact VSTs, presets and effects that are used in that one specific sound. Overall, being consistent and willing to learn will develop this skill over time. This is also something that you have to practice a lot, but I promise you, if you just keep going, you will get this down sooner or later. By the way, if you want high quality sounds, we just released the Ultimate Paint Toolkit version 3, and to be honest, it has sounds that not even a VST can create. And what I'm talking about is the guitar phrases. And these guitar phrases are played by professional guitarists that also have big songs with artists like Rod Wave, 2C, Jada Breezy, and the list just goes on. And the best part, there are over 300 phrases on the kit. The kit also has other stuff like a drum kit, loop kit, MIDIs, and so much more. The kit is available right now at nichaudios.com if you want to check it out. Alright, let's move move on with the video. Tip number 3, recreating your favorite beats. This method is crazy because it combines tips 1 and 2. Recreating your favorite beats teaches you how to create the vibe, and also you get a sense of how simple or how complicated the sound really is. It also helps you understand how and why things sound good. What I've noticed by doing this method, it has helped me demystify big songs, because at the end of the day, people who produce these big songs are just human beings as well, and overall they still use the same tools that we use on a daily basis as well. I love this method because it gives you pointers on other things as well, like key and BPM range, sound selection, and so much more. If you want to learn how to make a one specific type of beat, I highly recommend that you use this method to get better fast. Here's how I would go about it. First, you have to pick a song. It could be any song, but I recommend that you take a rather simple beat first so that you actually can, get it down. Then I would listen to the song and analyze it. What type of instruments do I hear? What about the chord progressions? What's the BPM and what's the key? Usually you can find this information from just googling the song. I love to use a site called TuneBat, but you can definitely use other sites as well. After I have the key and BPM down, I would start making the simple stuff first, the chord progressions, bass lines, and leave the more complicated stuff for later. The goal is not to make a perfect remake, but to understand the basic techniques and structures that were used to create this beat. You could also go on YouTube and try to find a video where a producer breaks down how he made the beat to that one specific song. Most of the time you won't find one, but sometimes you get lucky and you actually find a crazy video, and I love to watch them and improve. And I find those videos to be extremely helpful as well. Alright, let's move on. Tip number 4, collaborating and learning from others. This one out of all of the techniques is easily my favorite one. By collaborating, you will learn new techniques, new perspectives to beat making. You can also find new sounds, how to create new sounds, VSTs and stuff like that, which is of course extremely helpful when you're trying to improve as a producer. It also helps you make beats that you otherwise couldn't. For example, I don't play the guitar, so I have to use guitar loops if I want to make guitar beats. And even if I someday learn to play the guitar, I would already have the knowledge of what sounds good just by collaborating with people who play the guitar. And yeah, you definitely don't want to be one of those guys who will be, raging in every single IG comment section about like, you're not a real producer because you use loops. That's just whack, bro. Don't be that guy. Instead of not using loops, you should analyze the loops you use. Let me explain. So say you find a nice loop that you like. You want to ask yourself, why does this sound good? What instruments are being played? What could I learn from this loop? And then use that information to improve your own melodies. Collaboration has always been a part of music. Nobody cares if you use loops or don't. At the end of the day, it's just a matter of making good music, and that's the ultimate goal. Tip number 5, practice and consistency. Now, this one is obvious, but it's also the most important. Without this, everything else will fall apart. Let me explain. So we have a scenario. Producer A and producer B start their careers at the same time. Producer A has a lot more talent than producer B, so he advances in his career faster. Producer B is stuck in the mud. He's in the trenches trying to learn the basic chord progressions, basic production skills that you have to learn. Meanwhile, producer A is trolling comfortably, and making music feels like a natural thing for him. 3 months into his career, he got his first placement, while producer B is still making trash beats and trying to improve every day. 3 years into their careers, producer A has lost his motivation. He has 5 major placements, but partying and watching TikToks feels like a better, more comfortable option for him. Meanwhile, producer B has improved his sound and he's finally starting to get some recognition. He just got his first placement and he's working harder to get that next even bigger and better song. 5 years into their careers, producer A has fallen off. His inconsistency and low output have absolutely killed his career. He goes back to his 9 to 5 on the Walmart and his prime is long gone. Meanwhile, producer B is still going strong. He just got another major placement and he also has a sound kit store that makes him good money every single month. Now, the moral of the story, consistency and discipline beat talent. If you've been making beats for like 2 years and you still haven't gotten your first sale or you still haven't gotten your first placement, don't worry. We all have our own path that we have to follow, but I promise you, if you just keep going and keep improving every day, one day you will get it. And yeah, honestly, this is the most important part about production and life as well. If you want to succeed, you have to show up every single day no matter what. By doing this and trying to improve every day, I promise you, you will make it. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like and subscribe, and thank you all for 2k subscribers. That's honestly crazy. I couldn't be more happier. We are going to do a giveaway for y'all in honor of the 2k, so yeah, be sure to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, without further ado, see you in the next video. Peace.